we gotta wake up. We're too comfortable being ashamed. Let the truth be told. We need to clear our soul. We're here in Babylon, we face annihilation, miseducation to our nation. It's been more than 2,000 years of oppression. Still my people refuse to learn their lesson. It's a battle every day. Many have gone astray. They live in the curses because they choose not to keep the commandments. It's a my people, we gotta wake up. We're too comfortable. We need a shake up. And we can't be told. We need to clean our soul. It's obvious. What you get is what you get. It's so obvious that you can't even see the sign. We steady arguing over nothing. Instead we show some hate, 'cause it's what we have been taught. We need to do something different. 'Cause the old ways ain't working out. Yeah, wow, baby, it's never too late. You have to change the way. It's not too late to we gotta wake up. We got to wake up to cut the bullshit. You need to shake your soul. Truth be told, we need to clean our soul. You need to clean your soul. We gotta wake up to come the bullshit. You need to shake your soul. Truth be told, we need to clean our soul to change our soul.
Shabbat shalom. This morning we'd like to give all praise and honor and glory to Ahaya Bahashem Yeshaya, the special Ruach. And for those of you not familiar with the Hebrew, that is all praise unto the Most High, in the name of Jesus, as well as the Holy Spirit. Once again, we'd like to welcome each one of you to week 24 of the manifestation of the so-called black man, of the so-called African-American man who is from the tribe of Judah for the nation of Israel. We want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. We know you could have been anywhere in the world, so due to the fact you decided to join us, we do not take your time for granted. How's everybody doing this morning? What about the rest of y'all? Man, we in Babylon, bro. We ain't captivity, fam. What you talking about? Well, let it be known that we on deck. We up deck. We got next. So just continue to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding to the work of the Most High. Let us go forward with the Shema. For those who don't know what the Shema is, you can see it in Deuteronomy 6 chapter, verse 4. Shema Yasha Allah Ahaya, Allah Haya Nawa Ahaya Akkad. Shema Yasha Allah Ahaya, Allah Haya Nawa Ahaya Akkad. Shema Yasha Allah Ahaya, Allah Haya Nawa Ahaya Akkad. Hear, O Israel.
Hear, O Israel.
The Lord our Yah is one.
The Lord our Yah is one.
All righty. This morning, ladies and gentlemen, we have a word from the Most High that I believe is going to ruffle some feathers. It's going to shake up some people. Some people may, in one sense, get a little offended, but sometimes it takes offense for people to start looking at themselves, right? I often tell the story when I came home, when I was at Fayetteville State University, my best friend committed suicide. And came home to the funeral, and the pastor that was preaching the funeral, which ended up becoming my pastor, which was kind of funny, kept saying throughout the service, I hope that he got it right before he took his last breath, because if not, in hell, he lifted up his eyes. And I was offended. I was mad. I had went way past the offense stage. I ready to shoot the one. And I remember coming back on my way back to Fayetteville State, and my girlfriend kept saying, "Why are you upset?" He had to tell the people the truth. But that anger led to me looking at myself and saying, what if I was laying in that casket? Where would I be at? And I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt, I wouldn't be going, as the old folks say, to heaven, right? I wouldn't have made it. So that anger led me to start doing a form of self-examination for my own life. And I prayed this morning that this word will help some of those who are in that place to self-examine themselves as well. Now, I also want to put it out there for Israel, for those who do know that you're not Black, that you're not African American. We must understand that we must do a constant self-examination every day as well. We have not arrived just because we know who we are. Really, actually, the journey is just now beginning, because we know who we are and we've gotten on the right path. You understand? So I don't want us to ever become to the place where we become stagnated and start looking down on our brothers and sisters. The only time we must look down, as the cliche says, is to pick them up, to be light in this very dark world. Huh? So this morning, ladies and gentlemen, lessons entitled Ignorance, a Weapon of Self-Destruction. Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Shabbat Shalom, good seeing you on with us this morning. Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. We must understand, ladies and gentlemen, that as long as we allow ourselves to remain ignorant, we must understand also that ignorance is not a malicious word. It's not something that means that you're evil or wicked or you don't have a desire. It just truly means that you don't know. I mean, if we did a survey of all of us that sit in this room and all of us that are watching via social media, Shabbat Shalom, good seeing you on this day. All of us can remember that time when we were saying that we were Black, right? All of us were saying that we were Christian, right? All of us can remember a time when today, you know, I had to actually remember that today was the 4th. I had completely forgot. I just said it's the 4th of July, like, because it's the 4th day of July. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it was as far as I was concerned, right? And we ain't gonna spend no time writing on the folks parade. We're not gonna even take time for that. That's pointless. But I can remember a time where, you know, we was like, hey, we're gonna turn up. You know, when we was in the hood, you know, you lose any excuse to turn up. It didn't mean, oh, hey, it's Wednesday, man. You know, whatever the case may be. You know, it didn't really matter. Whatever justification you could use to turn up, you know. So if they gave you one, you loved it. So, you know, I think sometimes Israel forgets that. We get kind of, you know, prideful and walking in arrogance and start looking at ourselves as if we think we know some things. Matter of fact, let's get started with 1 Corinthians 8. Let's do a reminder there. Give me 1 Corinthians 8. Shabbat Shalom, Lisa, good seeing you with us this morning. Let's start 1 Corinthians 8. I need you to hold that and get Zechariah, the first chapter. So let's remind ourselves right out the gate of the severity of getting too swagged, right? For those just coming on this morning, today's lesson is entitled Ignorance, a Weapon of Self-Destruction. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Ladon. Good seeing you on with us this morning. 1 Corinthians 8, I need you to hold that and get Zechariah, the first chapter. 1 Corinthians 8, let's start at verse 1.
Now, as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge.
So all of us have gotten to the point now that we understand that we took away the crosses. You know what I'm saying? We've been took the Christmas trees out. You understand? With the little statues of little baby Jesus and all that. We done with the idols. We have the knowledge of understanding this, right? Go ahead.
Knowledge puffeth
So
up,
knowledge puff it up.
but charity edifies.
So what happens, ladies and gentlemen, is that the more knowledge that we gain, we'll get to the point where we start being puffed up. We start, I got it. Hey. We start looking at our people, you know, man, why you don't know this, you know, and all that. But what else he said?
But charity edifies.
But see, love, charity will take that knowledge that you have and use it to edify your brothers and sisters. Huh? So we're never supposed to take this information and make someone feel less than or devalued because we have it. We must use it to utilize it to help others. I tell all the time, you know, in Hebrews the 4th chapter says that the Most High's word is like a sword, cutting and separating us from sin. But some of us take that sword and stab people with it, right? Well, you want the pain, you want it. You know what I'm saying? You want him to hurt when you start bringing out these scripts. I had sound counsel tell me to stop using the verbiage. You know, I cut them up with the scripts, right? I know who's over there cutting them up because that's not what important. Read that again, that last part again. It says what?
Knowledge puffeth up.
Knowledge puffeth up. Go ahead.
But charity edifies.
Verse 2.
And if any man think he knoweth anything,
right?
He knoweth nothing.
Read that again.
If any man think that he knoweth anything.
So if any man think he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing as what? As he ought to. Because if you really knew, there was no way we'd be walking around with this arrogant, prideful mindset that we have. I'd be having to counsel my brothers and correct them sometimes. I'd rebuke them sometimes. Like, yo, man, what are you doing, man? Like, why are you posting this on him, man? You're inviting the beef. And then come and complain like, man, everybody always attacking me, man. Everybody always, you know. Nah, brother, you 75, man. How many times you ever seen us on Easter actually post about Easter? You think I'm gonna post about the 4th of July today? But I know Brews right now, they locked and loaded. They got the memes ready last night. They coming all day long attacking the people for celebrating the 4th of July. And the Most High, Yeshua, just looking down like, so this is what I woke you up for, right? This is not what it's about. If you're not gonna have anything to say about it prior to it, on the day of, no need to rain on the parades. Because do you actually think that somebody saw you gonna see someone post? You say, you know what? I'm gonna take the fireworks. I'm gonna put it in the trash. Hey, baby, hey, turn the grill off. You think that's gonna happen? It ain't happening, right? Verse 3.
But if any man love Yah,
but if you love Yah,
the same is known.
Let that be what's known when they see you. Not that you got this knowledge and precepts, but that you love Yah. Because if they know that you love Yah, that will give you all the opportunity in the world to bring them out of that situation. Okay? Now let's go to Zechariah 1st chapter. Ignorance, a weapon of mass of self-destruction. So I wanted to deal with those who know something in the beginning, because we must understand that even there's different levels of ignorance, right? You have a level of ignorance over people who have knowledge but don't know how to use it. They're ignorant to how to utilize what the Most High has given them, right? So Zechariah the 1st chapter, and let's start there at verse 2.
The Lord has been sore displeased with your fathers.
Read that again.
The Lord has been sore displeased with your fathers.
The Most High, ladies and gentlemen, is very, very displeased with our fathers. Watch this, verse 3.
Therefore say thou unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, turn ye unto me.
Turn ye unto me,
saith the Lord of hosts,
right?
And I will turn unto you, thus saith the Lord of hosts.
So ladies and gentlemen, you have a segment of our brothers and sisters of our community that are completely devoted and committed to the ways of our fathers. Like right now, and I say this, in the most sensitive way I can. Right now, you have brothers and sisters who are preparing to hit the polls in November. And when you ask them why they're doing this, their only response is, well, my ancestors fought and died for this. Well, they don't understand our ancestors fought and died to serve Molech too. Our ancestors fought and died to be pagans too. We have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that we know that hindsight is always 20/20. But we can no longer continue to use for an excuse to do things. Well, that's the way we always done it. Because if our ancestors would have had this release of the information that we have today, there is no way in Hades that they would have been doing what they were doing in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And we have a lesson that we're preparing to come out with to explain. Me and my brother have been talking about it to expose that, ladies and gentlemen, the majority of our people were not for the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement, ladies and gentlemen, is a smoke screen. Now, we know we had great leaders that went out there and did those things, but there was a large segment of our population was saying, listen, we don't need them for that. But the money bag and the opportunities persuaded many, and they didn't realize at the time that this was all a ploy to get us away from this awakening. We got lessons coming where we're going to break down the Nation of Islam and break down what that whole point of it was and why these things were used as a ploy to get us away from the Most High. Because our people were fully committed to this Bible at one point, and everything in their power was done to get us out of it and to the new age. So we can no longer use for excuse, well, it's black, we got to be a part of it. This is what our ancestors did. We got to stand for it. That day is over. If it ain't Torah, if it ain't Hamashiach, we out. Come. That's it. Right? So read that again. Verse 3 says what?
Therefore say thou unto them,
right?
Thus saith the Lord of hosts.
Thus saith the Most High. Go ahead.
Turn ye unto me,
saith
the Lord of hosts, and I will turn unto you.
And I will turn unto you. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord of hosts.
Right?
Be ye not as your fathers.
Listen to what he's saying. Most High said, be ye not as your fathers. Go ahead. Right? Mm-hmm. Right? But they did not hear, nor hearken unto me. You see that? The Most High said, listen, don't be like your fathers who didn't listen to the prophets, who killed the prophets. Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you that everybody talks about that Pilate and the Romans are the one who executed and crucified Hamashiach, but we must understand that it was our own people who took them there. Right? we forget that part. It was their idea. Pilate said, hey, I don't find no fault in the guy. It was our people. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, you need to be understanding prepared that you think that right now that your enemy is outside of our community. Nah. The greatest enemy we're going to have to overcome is the one that's right in the midst of our community. Because it's our people who are offended when we don't want to go along with the program. It is our community, it's our people who want to fight us. It's your own family members who cut you off and start lying on you when you're standing with this law. Right? Verse 6. Verse 5.
Your fathers, where are they?
Read that again.
Your fathers, where are they?
Where are they? Is they with the Most High? See, these things, these tough things that we don't really want to discuss because it's very uncomfortable. What are our leaders doing? Read that again, Dickie. Says what?
Your fathers, where are they? And the prophets, do they live forever?
Do they live forever? You can't put too much emphasis in a man because they're going to come, they're going to do what they call to do, and they're going to be out of here. Our loyalty and our commitment must be with the Most High and the Most High alone. Huh? Watch this, verse 6.
My words and my statutes, which I commanded my servants, the prophets, did they not take hold of your fathers?
Did they not take hold of your fathers? Go ahead.
And they returned and said, like as the Lord of hosts thought to do unto us, according to our ways and according to our doings, so has he dealt with us.
Deuteronomy 28. Because we focus a lot, ladies and gentlemen, on 15 through 68, but we don't understand what he said 1 through 14. That was also said to our fathers, and our fathers chose 15 through 68. I remember a few years ago when Kanye West came out and said slavery 400 years, it sounds like we chose this thing, and people were offended. And I was like, he's right. Now, he didn't know what he was talking about, but the Most High can use a donkey. He definitely can use Kanye to say some truth. And the truth was, ladies and gentlemen, that our ancestors did choose this. Because this was like 1,700 years before the birth of Hamashiach, when Deuteronomy 28 was written, was proclaimed by Moses. So they had a choice the whole entire time whether or not to turn. And we can go through the scriptures every time when the Most High was sending the prophet and say, turn, come back. And they wouldn't. That sounds like a choice. Parents, how many times have you given your kids an ultimatum? Do this or you will get this. And what did they do oftentimes? So whose choice was it for them to get beat all over the house? Was it yours? Whose choice was it for them to get punished? Was it yours? Because you gave them a chance. It's the same thing the Most High has given us. That's why the Most High said, where's your fathers? How did it go for them? And this is the thing when I'm talking about ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Because our people keep talking about what the ancestors did and what our people done, but you still don't realize you're in captivity. Now, my mindset has softened a lot when it comes to Juneteenth, and we're going to talk about that in the weeks to come. It has softened somewhat on it. But I was still shocked and surprised how our people didn't realize that you was marching just days before Juneteenth and didn't realize that you were saying you was free. I was kind of stunned by that. I was stunned by the fact that our people rushed the streets in Charlotte, but since all that rushing and protesting in Charlotte, there's been murder after murder after murder, and it wasn't a cop that did it. What was Black Lives Matter said the other day when that 14-year-old boy got killed? Did they show up? His life don't matter. What was the rally then? What was the urgency to hold someone accountable then when that young 14-year-old boy was killed? And you knew it wasn't a white cop that did it. This is what we have to realize, ladies and gentlemen. That just because they say black, they don't mean it with us. By show of hands, how many of you guys are black? Thank you. Now, for the sake of time, let's go down to verse 15. Watch this.
And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease.
And this is for my Gentile brothers and sisters who may see this message. Notice that he said in verse 2 that he was displeased with our fathers. But look at what he's saying to the Gentiles. Read it again, D. He says what?
And I am very sore displeased.
I am very sore displeased. Why?
With the heathen that are at ease.
That are at ease. I'm saying this to my Gentile brothers and sisters. Y'all better wake up. Why? Go ahead.
For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction.
I want to put this out here, ladies and gentlemen. I was just a little displeased. Now, you got to understand how the Most High is, you know. He called it just a little displeased. 400 years of captivity. I hate to see when he's very displeased. Right? And he said, I was just a little displeased, but you took their affliction and you made it a whole lot worse. What was the reason for Jim Crow after the slave plantation? For crack, for abortion clinics, for the healthcare system, vaccines, riding by with trucks with guns and leaving it in our community so the gangs can kill each other. Why would you do all of that? So my Gentile brothers and sisters, I want to put it out there today that ignorance is a weapon of self-destruction. You putting on a Black Lives Matter shirt and putting Black Lives Matter on your hashtag BLM on your Facebook page is not going to change things in the eyes of the Most High. Verse 16.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord, I am returned to Jerusalem.
Because they took it too far and they set out to destroy us, he said he's doing what?
I am returned to Jerusalem.
I am returned to Jerusalem with mercies, and my house shall be built in it. Go ahead. Uh-huh. Y'all see that? Now notice, ladies and gentlemen, that statement is not saying my line is stretched forth for blacks and African Americans. I want to put this out here for my Christian brothers and sisters. This line of protection that the Most High is declaring here is around Jerusalem, not America. If you want to remain an African American, then you're going to have to find another God to protect you. And I mean that in all sincerity, no disrespect. But the Yahweh, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob saying, I'm only doing what? Read it again. Speaks this word.
Said the Lord of hosts,
right?
And the line shall be stretched forth upon Jerusalem.
It shall be stretched upon Jerusalem. Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Go ahead.
Crying yet, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, my cities through prosperity shall yet be spread abroad.
My cities through prosperity shall be spread abroad.
And the Lord shall yet comfort Zion.
He gonna comfort who?
Zion.
African Americans,
Zion.
Democrats,
Zion.
African Americans,
Zion.
the Baptists,
Zion.
the Pentecostal Church.
Zion.
No, what about Zion?
Zion.
He will comfort Zion. Yo, hold up. She's saying his mic is silent. Yo, can anybody else on here hear us? Yeah, go on Facebook, y'all see it here. Somebody said it here. Okay, yeah, all right, let's go. Let's go. I know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, let's go. All right, come on. Read it again, verse 17. I think it was very clear. Go ahead.
Cry yet, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts.
Right.
My cities through prosperity shall yet be spread abroad.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord shall yet comfort
and
Zion.
He shall yet comfort Zion. Go ahead.
And shall yet choose.
And we'll choose who?
Jerusalem.
Now I'm going to choose the Republicans.
Jerusalem.
Democrats.
Jerusalem.
No, the NAACP.
Jerusalem.
Black Lives Matter.
Jerusalem.
He will choose Jerusalem. Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Now, let's go to Proverbs 14. I need you to hold that and get to Sirach 25. And for those who don't have an apocrypha, we have a separate laptop, phone, or tablet. Oh, they're saying it keep going out on YouTube. That's what it says. That's why she came to Facebook. Said it might keep going out on YouTube. It's just the bottom turn down. To the max. All right. Maximum volume. Hey, sometimes YouTube be tripping, man, on purpose. On days when the truth be too much, it'd be a trip. It'd be tripping. I'm sorry about that, Ms. Rogers. We apologize for any technical difficulties that you're having on YouTube. But if there continue to be any audio issues, just please come to Facebook for us, okay? We apologize for that. Let's go to Proverbs 14. I need you to hold that and get Sirach 25. So if you have a separate laptop, phone, or tablet, go to Google and put in SIRACH, SIRACH, and put in chapter 25. Hey, go to YouTube and see how, and Go to YouTube right there. Now, Shabbat Shalom, Michelle, good seeing you with us today. Now, being ignorant, ladies and gentlemen, of Yah's way, though it seems harmless or good or right to us in our society as a whole, can lead to destruction. There's a lot of our people who truly believe that this Bible has nothing to do with them and they don't need any part of it to be successful. Now, I may add that, ladies and gentlemen, that the enemy has a system set up here in America that you don't have to have the Bible to experience some success. But I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, that success will not be all lasting. And it's going to go horribly wrong for you at the end. Right? So, we can't make our way. We can't make our own way, ladies and gentlemen. We can't do things the way we feel we can do it. We got to do things the way Yah's way. There's a requirement. There's a standard that he demands from us. And we have to do it just as the Most High. Okay? So let me get Proverbs 14 and 12. I need you to hold that against Sirach 25. Proverbs 14 and 12, Deep, let's bring that out.
There is a way which seemeth right unto a man.
There's a way, ladies and gentlemen, that seems right unto a man. Go ahead.
But the end thereof are the ways of death.
But the end of it is death. You may think that what you're doing is right. You may feel as if this is the best approach for you and your family. If it ain't lining up with the things of the Most High, utter destruction is on the horizon. Okay? Hold your place there before we go to Sirach 25. Give me Proverbs 29 and 18. You gotta go. Try to let you live. You gotta go. Give me Proverbs 29, verse 18.
Where there is no vision, the people perish.
Where there is no vision, ladies and gentlemen, the people perish. Can we honestly say, ladies and gentlemen, that the so-called Black, so-called African American community there is a vision? Can we honestly say that we have a vision, a path, a plan, what you would call a blueprint for success? Because if you get 10 Black people in the room, you're probably gonna have 10 different ways of how we should do this. And depending on who you bring in that room, the Bible will probably never come up. And the sad thing about it is you can have Christians in there and the Bible still will never come up. And that's me, I mean no disrespect, but we've had the conversation over and over the years. And when we're talking to our Christian brothers and sisters about where there needs to be a change as far as our community is concerned, oftentimes the Bible don't come up. Because most of the time, the people look at the Bible as like we call it like a life insurance policy versus a life assurance. So when I get into a situation, I get sick, I'm upon death, I got turmoil coming. Now I run to the Bible and find a verse that matches my current situation, with not even understanding that if I actually had the Bible in the beginning, I wouldn't even be in this situation. So they look at it as a life insurance versus life assurance. Read that again. He says what?
Where there is no vision.
Where there is no vision.
The people perish.
Right.
But he that keepeth the law.
But he that what?
Keepeth the law.
Right.
Happy is he.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, if we just poll the so-called Black, so-called African American community, and we ask them clearly one question: are you happy? Do you think most of them will say yes? And then we ask the next question: are you keeping the Most High law, statute, commandments? She said the body's back good. The water. And the next question we ask them: are you keeping law, statute, commandments? No. Read that last part again. He says what?
But he that keepeth the law.
But he that keepeth the law,
happy is he.
Happy is he. So we don't have no vision, and we don't have the Most High's law, and we're wondering why we're being destroyed. Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Now, let's go to Sirach 25. Watch this. go to Sirach 25. Watch this. And let me get verse 10 through 12 there. Watch this.
Oh, how great is he that findeth wisdom.
Oh, how great is he that findeth wisdom. Go ahead.
Yet is there none above him that feareth the Lord.
Y'all see that? There will be nothing above. You can have the smartest man in the room, but he that fears the Most High is going to always be greater. You're going to always have more opportunity for success. Go ahead, verse 11.
But the love of the Lord passeth all things for illumination.
Read that again.
But the love of the Lord passeth all things for illumination.
Mm-hmm.
He that holdeth it, whereto shall he be like?
Y'all see that? And we know that 1 John 5 and 3 says, the love of the Most High is to keep his commandments. Don't tell me you love the Most High if you ain't keeping his commandments. Your husband, your wife, your children, you will want to hear they say they love you if they ain't doing what you ask them to do. If they're doing completely opposite of how you ask them to be, you will not believe that they love you. It will be like, you're like, what? You can't tell me that you love me if you're not doing what I say. Right? If you say, listen, I want to be in a relationship, I want just to be you, I don't want you cheating on me, I don't want you lying to me, I want to be able to trust you. Yes, okay, cool. And they're doing the exact opposite of that. Are you going to really believe that they love you? But yeah, we want the Most High, we want people to believe that we love the Most High, but we're doing nothing that he tells us to do. But you say he loves you. Right? Matter of fact, let me get that verse right quick. Proverbs 8. I love them that love me. Oh, you place there. I love those who do what I say. Yeah, Proverbs 8, verse 17. Watch this.
I love them that love me.
Read that again.
I love them that love me.
I love them that love me.
And those that seek me early shall find
You see that? Y'all see that? So the Most High said, listen, I love them that love me. Y'all see how this Bible is so different than Christianity? It's completely different because it's nothing, it's oil and water. And this is why our people are where they are today, and they don't understand. Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Now, let's go back to Sirach 25 and read that verse again, verse 11 again.
But the love of the Lord passeth all things for illumination.
Right?
He that holdeth it, whereto shall he be like?
You see that? Go ahead.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of his love.
Read that again.
The fear of the Lord.
The fear of the Most High
is the beginning of his love.
It's the beginning of his love. You can't get his love until you show him that you honor and reverence him. Ladies, how many men can just get something without them showing to you that they respect and honor you? Now, that may work in the world. You just walk up, girl, you bad, girl. Oh, man, girl, you, right? But that ain't working with them daughters of Zion, is it? You're going to need more than some compliments. You're going to need some evidence. What if y'all think that, what do you think the Most High believe? He's going to want way more than lip service. Right? Read that again, Deacon says what?
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of his love.
Right?
And faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him.
And faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him, which means, ladies and gentlemen, you will never trust someone you don't have faith in. Now, how can you trust the Most High that you don't know? This is why when you talk to the average person about having faith in the Most High and believing him to get through these situations, they be like, man, hey, it's going to take a little bit more than that. Is it? I've asked everybody that keeps, being a bullhorn for this so-called virus. And I've asked everyone that's screaming it. I've asked them one question and none of them answered it. Give me one person keeping law, statute, commandments got it. Do you know anybody that's keeping law, statute, commandments? And that offends people. But it's a relevant question, isn't it? Because the Bible says those who keep this won't have to worry about it. So when I asked the question, I said, yo, they keep telling like, man, I don't like the way you be saying it, you be downplaying it, this and that. I said, I'm not downplaying, I'm only saying what the Bible said. I said, okay, well, what about these cases? Look at what it said right here. Okay, how many of those cases have keeping law, statutes, commandments? Do you know anybody with it? No, but I'm saying that's what the news is saying. Okay. They never lied to you before? So everything they say is the truth. You don't even, then what a man tell you it rain, you won't even take your umbrella. Man, that weatherman be off sometimes. You won't even take your umbrella. Man, if it was raining, man, I'll be feeling in my ankles and my knees right now. Hey. But with this though, it's the 100% truth. Wait till I show you this video in a minute. Right? Now, let me get Psalms 119. Just give me this little foundation right quick before we get into these videos. Give me Psalms 119. I need you to hold that against Sirach 5. It's water. Man, we had water that beat us. All right. Let me get Sirach. Psalms 119. And let me get Sirach 5. Right? Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Watch this. Psalm 119, let me get verses 104 through 105.
Through thy precepts, I get understanding.
Through thy precepts, I get understanding. Go ahead.
Therefore, I hate every false way.
Therefore, I hate every false way. Now, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. That means that if you don't know the precepts of the Most High, you won't know the false way. That means a lot of the false ways you're going to embrace. Read it again. It says what?
Through thy precepts, I get understanding.
I get what?
Understanding.
So that means, ladies and gentlemen, you won't have proper understanding unless you have the precepts. Go ahead.
Therefore, I hate every false way.
Then you would end up like, man, I'm going to go this way. But if you had the precepts, you're like, man, I hate that way. I would never do that. Watch this, verse 105.
A word is a lamp unto my feet.
The Most High said his word is a lamp unto my feet.
And a light unto my path.
Once again, you won't be able to know where to go, ladies and gentlemen, if it's not having the word, because it's a what?
A lamp unto my feet.
It's a lamp unto my feet.
And a light.
So it not only lightens my feet so I can see them, because we're in a dark world, right? Right? So it brings light so you can see where you're going. Then the path is lit up because it's a light unto your path. But that's the word. No word, no precepts, darkness. Now you're in there like this. As it says in Isaiah 59, like the blind, groping for the wall, trying to find you. Huh? Watch this. Give me Sirach 5, verse 15.
Be not ignorant of anything.
Be not ignorant of anything
In a great matter or small.
in a great matter or small. The Most High said we ain't supposed to be ignorant in nothing. You better know a little bit about everything. You don't need to be a master, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to be, a full-time scholar in everything, but you better know something about a little something about everything. And even you notice that even with our people that say the truth, they pick certain areas that they want to specialize in. You even used to see that in Christian church, like I specialize in deliverance. We got a deliverance ministry. What? We deal mostly in, the prophetic. Okay. What about healing? Nah, we just deal with the prophetic. It's prophetic. We have an apostolic ministry. Who the apostle in here? We just have an apostolic ministry. See what I'm saying? Well, we pick things out, and even in the truth, we pick certain things out. Like, yeah, man, I'm mostly, I deal in the maps. I can break down the maps and Josephus and all that. Okay, what about the law? Yeah, but I got you in this lane. I'm in this lane. You see what I'm saying? Read it again. It says what?
Be not ignorant of anything.
Be not ignorant of anything.
In a great matter or small.
In a great matter or small. Now, got a few videos I need to show you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, yeah, put those links on Facebook for me. And for those that are on YouTube watching, if you desire these links, email me at thevandaingham@gmail.com and we'll send it to you. Now, you heard us some time ago that we said we're done with the debate back and forth with the mask. We told you, run on the season with the season, right? You will notice though, no, I ain't gonna go there. Now, as I stated several weeks ago, you have people on one side saying, I need the mask in order to be safe and protect others. And then you have some people saying, I don't need it, I'm good, right? So you got both sides of the tracks, right? But now they're pretty much making masks mandatory all over the country, right? Which we told you was coming, did we not, D? Because we said the mask is the training ground, the basic training for the mark of the beast. Yeah, go ahead and put all three there. So we talked about the fact that now you can't go to grocery stores, you can't go into governmental buildings. They're already shaping and forming you that you can't do certain business unless they allow you. There's a guy standing at the door, hand on your chest. Nah, fam, you can't come in. And you go to certain places, they'll put their hand on your chest, and this guy don't have a mask on himself. Okay? You say get your milk, can't get your bread, you can't go pay your light bill, you can't go get a driver's license, you can't go in and get, you know what I'm saying? You can't go and search the land and find out what land you want to purchase from the courthouse. You can't do any of that unless you put on a mask, right? And they say it's because we want to protect others. And who's giving these orders? Who's saying that we're supposed to do it? Isn't his name Dr. Fauci? The top guy, right? The new prophet, the medical prophet that's out here, right? Right? Check this out. Give me 1 second. 1 second here. 1 moment. Okay. You guys ain't gonna believe this. Okay, all right. 1 moment. I should have got this prepared. I'm trying to get the volume on. Good down right here. Sorry. Okay. All right, here we go. Watch this, y'all. I want them to be able to see this. I'm gonna turn this around. So I want y'all to see that it ain't me making it up. Right, because they'll say it's me.
When you're in the middle of an outbreak,
One second.
right now people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask.
You see that?
When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is.
That's Dr. Fauci.
There are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face. And can you get some schmutz staying inside there? Of course. But when you think masks, you should think of healthcare providers needing them and people who are ill. There's no doubt that wearing masks protects you and gets you to be protected. When you're
Right after that,
and not have the capability.
one was an interview on 60 Minutes. A few weeks later,
right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around.
y'all see that? These are the guys that our people are looking to when from week to week it's something different. Yo, man, you don't need no mask, man. You good, fam. Everybody should be wearing a mask. Y'all see that? I said, because if I had told them, they were like, man, you're making it up. I wanted y'all to see it for yourselves. from one week to another, nah, man, you don't need it. This week, hey, without it, you're gonna die. Watch this. Now, got another one for you. This, how many of y'all ever heard of CBN, Christian Broadcast Network?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Watch this. I want y'all to check this video. Okay, good. You stay in the spirit. All right. Okay, let's start this from the beginning. All right. This right here came out about a month ago. This was on CBN. Now, mind you, the Christian church, they're telling you that it's going to be a rapture. But when you look at the rapture doctrine, right, according to the rapture doctrine, none of this stuff will be taking place. You're supposed to be gone, right? Yeah. Watch this. This is what they tell them.
Coronavirus vaccine is ready. The next hurdle is how to get that vaccine out to the public quickly and in massive numbers. Joining me now is Jay Walker. He's the CEO of AppyJect, a company that entered into a $138 million deal with the Trump administration called Project Jumpstart. Welcome, Mr. Walker.
Stop that. Okay, so if it was for our benefit, why would they need to be doing a lobby to get this job, get this responsibility? What would it cost? Why do they have to drop 138 million to save your life? I'm bidding. I'm gonna give them. I'm went into a deal. I gave Trump administration 138 million to have the rights to make this. Now, let me remind you that we brought these statistics out last week, a couple of weeks ago on the Q&A. There's 331 million people in America, right? According to the CDC, around 2.3 million people caught the so-called coronavirus. But you told me 120,000, that's what you told me, died. So ladies and gentlemen, two questions. How did 329 million not get it? That's number one. And out of the 2.3 that got it, what kept the 2.2 from surviving? There was no vaccine. So why would you need a vaccine? I'm breaking out these numbers because I want you to see what he is saying and these numbers that they're going to say that they already got prepared. All right, go ahead.
So what is Project Jumpstart?
Well, Project Jumpstart is an emergency and temporary program in the battle against COVID-19. It's a public-private partnership between my company.
Public-private. How many of y'all ever heard of that? Has that came on your news?
One or the other.
Public-private. How can you be both? Right? Right. Everything else, I'm going to put to the side. This is a public, private, temporary, ongoing. Right? Right? Oh, I just want to bring it up. Keep going.
Systems of America and the Department of Health and Human Services and the Department of Defense. And its purpose is to
Hold on, stop.
That by year-end,
why is the Department of Defense involved in this? Remember, it went from Corona to COVID-19. It's overnight. That's not like a military plan to me. Right? Go ahead. I'm just pointing out little things because I don't want you guys to miss it. Go ahead.
Between my company, Systems of America, and the Department of Health and Human Services and the Department of Defense. And its purpose is to ensure that by year-end, we'll have at least 100 million doses ready to inject of a vaccine or therapeutic, assuming one is available.
Stop.
And now you are going
2.3 million got it. Why you got 100 million ready? Ready! Now, ladies and gentlemen, you all know that you can't get 100. Right. Right. Okay. Do you know how much time it takes to get 100 million syringes ready? And he said, to inject, not to give you the option where you want to do it, to inject, to ensure what? Psalms 83. Let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, who did Melinda Gates say got to get this thing first? Black people. When have they ever cared about us before? Right? You wouldn't give us the money. You wouldn't give us no jobs. When you say, yo, we got 100 million new jobs coming. You ever heard them say, who's gonna get the job first? Black people. We got $100 million of grants ready. Who's gonna get it first? Black people. When have you ever heard them say that? But now, black people. Let's go. Let's keep going.
To be making these pre-filled syringes for the vaccines,
Watch this part.
systems of manufacturing and delivering vaccines.
Well, there's no problem with glass vials, and they work wonderfully, except when you need hundreds of millions of them all at once. The supply chain for glass vials requires not only that you have all of those vials and all the materials that go with it, but it requires that you have extremely specialized filling equipment to fill all those vials. All of that equipment is currently busy. It works on cancer drugs and other life-saving drugs.
Stop.
There is no excess.
Have you heard about cancer in lately? You heard about it? When the last time you heard a person get the flu? Breast cancer awareness was every other day. I guess it just disappeared. Now, if it did, all praise to the Most High. But it was a campaign for it on TV every day. Now, it was good. COVID. Go ahead, watch this. Now, I want y'all to pay careful attention when anybody say that.
100 million, 150 million or more with a new vaccine. Therefore, the U.S. government has stepped out and said, we'll need to use another way to make sure that that vaccine can be delivered to people who want it.
So how exactly does AppyJect work?
Well, if you've ever used an eyedropper where you in your eye take a little squeeze bottle, that technology is called blow, fill, seal. And that is exactly the same technology where you use it. There are eyedropper facilities in the US, not many, but a few, that we are going to upgrade so they can handle vaccines. Then what will happen is those facilities will make the containers right here that will hold the vaccine. We will add a needle hub to them, and voila, you have a pre-filled syringe that's ready to use.
So where will they be manufactured, and what is significant about that now and going forward?
Well, we haven't announced yet which of the facilities in the U.S. will receive the upgrade.
It's a bidding
We're in
war for it right
discussions
now.
with all of the major U.S. manufacturers, but there are not many that do this on U.S. soil. What's going to happen is we'll choose one or two of those facilities in the next few weeks, and then we will begin to install all kinds of upgraded equipment that will all be approved by the FDA.
All be approved, not waiting to approve it. It's going to be approved.
Next year is build entire new factories capable of doing up to 330 million doses every month.
Stop.
So that the entire U.S. population.
Stop. You see that? We're going to build new factories to build 330 million syringes a month. Zero. I'm just putting this out here. You understand how ignorance is a weapon of mass self-destruction? When you just trust the leaders, you trust these guys with your life, and they're plotting your demise. Wait, there's more. Watch this.
And be filled and finished from these brand new factories that we're building on U.S. soil.
How does the optional RFID chip work?
Whoa! Stop! Now! Now! You told me, private, public, you told me this is strictly about me being healed from the coronavirus. Why are we talking about the RFID chip? Hold on. Now, when we told them this 2 years ago, they laughed at us. Oh, what this got to do with anything to do with the mark of the beast? You see it right here. And this is on CBN. Christian Broadcast Network. They're telling you right here, we're about to give you the mark of the beast. But according to the rapture doctrine, you're supposed to be gone. So like the person who sent it to me said, listen, this let the Christians know that this is safe because Christian Broadcast Network is the one telling you. So it can't be the mark of the beast. It can't be the mark of the beast. Watch this, go ahead.
Well, each of these devices that are injected have the capacity to also have a small chip. What that chip does is it has the unique serial number for each dose. It is designed so that there is no counterfeiting. It's designed so that we'll know exactly that the right dose hasn't expired. However, that chip only refers to the dose. There's no personal information, no patient information. It's simply like a barcode. Only we know instantaneously where and when that dose has been used. And that also helps public health officials know when there are outbreaks. Have we vaccinated enough people in those areas? That technology is purely optional, however, and the U.S. government hasn't even decided if they're going to use it.
How quickly can you manufacture the vaccines, and what's your long-term goal?
Well, we don't make vaccines, Lori. Drug companies make the vaccines. They then ship them to us for the packaging. So our long-term goal is to make sure that no matter what vaccine wins or what vaccines and what therapeutics are available, America can fill and finish in these pre-filled syringes as many of the drugs as we need for U.S. citizens and eventually to have access to export worldwide. Our goal is to make sure that on American soil, we have everything we need to protect America.
When do you think you might start filling these with the vaccine?
Well, the president has said that vaccine will be ready this year. So if that vaccine shows up at our door, we're going to be ready to fill it as soon as it does.
Well, it's a fascinating new technology. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on it. Jay Walker, CEO of Happy Jack, thanks for being here. Good to see you, sir.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, Lord.
No, I didn't. Never come up. Now, I had another video that I was going to show on there, but that might get us took out. We'll deal with that offline. Yeah. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this next video that I'm about to play you has nothing to do with vaccines. Today's lesson is entitled Ignorance, a Weapon of Self-Destruction. What I'm about to play for you, ladies and gentlemen, is a Christian pastor in South Africa. This guy, this church has to have thousands of people in it. And if I told you this before, you would probably think I was lying to you. This guy is on a cell phone talking to God. Why am I playing this video today? Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. These guys and guys like them is what has been used to bewitch our brothers and sisters. Now, of course, we know it's not all to this extreme, but it's pretty psychologically powerful that our people can look at the Bible and won't change. So we're dealing with ignorance on a high level. Watch this. Now stop. Is that a white man? I just wanted to bring that out. I just wanted to make sure that we point that out. Because when we talk to our people, everybody wants to talk. The white man, the white man, the white man. Look at that. Play that. Go ahead.
What do you have to say about it?
Look at all those people there. They believe that he's on his cell phone talking to the Most High. He had to ask twice, is this heaven? Is this heaven? Yeah. And the signal was off a little bit. Look at all those people that crowd. This is the only way you can talk to them to the cell phone. What if his phone is off? I wonder if he ever called in the phone be line before. Okay, that's enough, man. Okay. You see what we're dealing with? We exactly. We're dealing with it all around us. Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Let's dive back here. Let's go to Sirach 4. I need you to hold that and get Matthew 7. This is why Sirach says, be not ignorant in anything, in any matter. Get Sirach 24, Sirach 4. I need you to hold that and get Matthew 7. Watch this. Sirach 4. I need you to hold that and get Matthew 7. Sirach 4. Let's start at verse 20.
Observe the opportunity and beware of evil. And be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul.
Ladies and gentlemen, read that again at that first part. It says what?
Observe the opportunity.
Observe the opportunity.
And beware of evil.
And beware of evil. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to get to the point where we recognize what's going on around us. I'm going to tell you one of the most dangerous words that people are using these days, tolerance. I'm going to just tolerate that. Nah. You better observe evil. Go ahead.
And be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul.
And be not ashamed when it concerns thy soul. You better recognize. You better stop using excuses. I can just stay this way. Everything's good. You better listen. Hey, it's real out here. And when someone brings some things out and points some things out in your life, you can't always keep taking it there as an offense. We got to listen. It's very important and righteous to be honest with others, but it's vital that we be honest with ourselves. And the more we keep lying to ourselves, the more and more it's going to be harder for us to get out of this situation. And one of the things that our Christian brothers and sisters lie to themselves and think that this thing is going to work. Our brothers and sisters in this conscious movement and in this political realm, they think that these things are going to work. Do you understand, ladies and gentlemen, you can be against the devil and still not be for the Most High. You can fight against the system and still not be on the side of the Most High. You can be aware of all the enemy's attacks and the government attacks and conspiracies to take us out, the genocides, but that still don't mean you're on the side of the Most High. Verse 21.
But there is a shame that bringeth sin, and there is a shame which is a glory and grace.
Read that again.
But there is a shame that bringeth sin.
So there's a shame, ladies and gentlemen, that will bring sin. There's a shame that when it's brought out, when your information is brought out, it brings sin. It exposes your sin. But what else?
And there's a shame which is glory and grace.
You see that? There's also a shame that will lead you out of your sin into the glory of the Most High. When you come aware of what's going on around. And you point out and you realize and you acknowledge what you're doing and what you're connected with. Watch this. Verse 22.
Except no person against our soul.
Except no person against our soul. Go ahead.
And let not the reverence of any man cause thee to fall.
Y'all see that? Right now, there's plenty of our people, ladies and gentlemen, that are just refusing to change because of the pastor that they believe. Like, oh man, this man is big. And yeah, he's a good man. Yeah, she's a good woman. But your reverence should be more so for the Most High. Your loyalty, your commitment should be more for the Most High. I tell Deke all the time, if I ever get to the point where I go off, don't stand with me. Take better day and go on. And leave me where I be. Take me outside the city and stone me to death. Okay? If I come in here with a different doctrine, I'm saying this before a better day. Martez, go with you too. Be with him. All the men, Dennis, I need y'all to come together. Stay with D. Take me outside the city and stone me to death. Just don't leave my bones here though when y'all leave. At least give me that. Take my bones with when y'all go back to the wilderness. But stone me to death. Don't rock with me, man, if I turn wicked. Okay? I don't care what we taught you. We'll go off, run as fast as you can. You understand? Watch this, verse 22. Select verse 23.
And refrain not to speak when there is an occasion to do good.
Now, I'm not telling y'all guys just start calling people out, right? Okay, I'm not. But there's an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, that some of you have with your co-workers, with your family members, with people in passing. And sometimes you just refuse to say something because you don't want to deal with the altercation. You don't want to deal with the, what may come from it. That's why you have to trust the Holy Spirit. We're going to get into that in a minute. We'll go to Wisdom Solomon. Go ahead.
And hide not thy wisdom in her beauty.
Mm-hmm.
For by speech wisdom shall be known,
Mm-hmm.
and learning by the word of the tongue.
There are some people out here, ladies and gentlemen, that need to hear what you have to say. Right? Go ahead.
And no wise speak against the truth,
And no wise speak against the truth.
but be a base of the error of thine ignorance.
Ladies and gentlemen, there should be some type of shame, self-shame, not being shamed, when you understand that you don't know something that you need to. Especially when you've been calling yourself a Bible believer and a Christian all these years. You should be ashamed. When you're just staying in the same place. Let not this Sabbath be the only time when your Bible is open. Let not me and Dick be the only reason that you get any understanding, any revelation. Now, I want to see you guys talking and posting things outside of what we're talking about. You understand? But your relationship needs to be with the Most High, not with us. Read that again, though. It says what?
And no wise speak against the truth,
And no wise speak against the truth.
but be a base of the error of thine ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
Be not ashamed to confess thy sin,
Right?
and force not the course of the river.
But now force that course of the river. Ignorance. A weapon of self-destruction. When I hear people say, like, man, this truth is scary. And you should be scared if you don't know it. That's when you should be scared, when you don't know. Thank the Most High for the grace that He's allowing you and learning that place, and then go forward, continue to seek. But don't allow ignorance to remain in your life. Go ahead.
Make not thyself an underling to a foolish man.
Read that again, man.
Make not thyself an underling to a foolish man.
Ladies and gentlemen, know who you're listening to. We talked about this before. Joe Biden said, hey man, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. So that dude is the spirit. You're right. You're in the spirit, Joe. Prime Bill Joe, you in the spirit. Because if anybody vote for you, anybody believe in you, read it again. It says what?
Make not thyself an underling to a foolish man.
Right?
Neither accept the person of the mighty.
Uh-huh.
Strive for the truth unto death.
Try for how long?
Unto death.
Nah, until I get my precepts right.
unto death.
Until I can win these debates.
Unto death.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord shall fight for
And
thee.
the Most High will fight for you. Strive for the truth unto death. I'm talking about the last day you leave here, you should have a precept right there beside your bed like this. You should still be getting that. It should still be getting the revelation. The last day you hear, man, I never knew that. I hope before I leave here, I get that revelation of Genesis 1 like Kai had it. Still striving to get that. Kai, somewhere I have not begun to get there yet. When you read Genesis 1, you don't even make it through the verses and break down. That's what I'm trying to get to, man. Right? Tom? Read that again. It says what?
Strive for the truth unto death.
Right?
And the Lord shall fight for thee.
Mm-hmm. Verse 29.
Be not hasty in thy tongue.
Here we go. People get upset, be offended. Always want to quickly call you a liar. Quickly want to talk down to you, saying you don't know what you're talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, just because you ain't heard of it, that don't make it not true. Okay? Just because you're not aware of it, that doesn't make it not a fact. If I were to tell the average person, Dr. Fauci just a few weeks ago told people not to wear a mask, they'd call me a liar. That's why I played the video. Because people have been accusing us of judging and clowning and ridiculing people when I'm only listening to the guys that you tell me you're following. Until they were talking about so-called second wave and all of this, you didn't see Dr. Fauci with no mask on. He never had it. He was forced to do it because he got to keep the narrative going. Notice how you don't even hear them use the word death no more, these cases. Newsflash, ladies and gentlemen. How many of y'all ever had the common cold? Everybody in here, guess what? You have the coronavirus in your system. Okay. Period. You have the coronavirus. And they know this. This is why they can say dumb stuff like, hey, you can have it and not have any symptoms. How many of you ever had a cold and didn't have no symptoms? As soon as you get the, man, I come down with a little cold, man. But I can have something that's killing people all over the world and I don't have no symptoms, right? That tells me you're lying to me, right? Oh, devil. Man, bro, get out of here. Get out of here. You asymptomatic. You can have it, just don't got no symptoms. How many people with cancer got it and ain't got no symptoms? That's why they got to tell people that, because they know. So all these people getting fear-mongered up, watching the news every day, running out there, standing in long lines for somebody to test you. If you took the flu vaccine a year ago, why you think that was for? They was giving away turkeys at Thanksgiving if you take them. Man, you can go up and ride up to the gas station and fill up your steak and stick your arm out and get a flu vaccine. Fill up and get a flu vaccine. Be a Burger King. Yeah, let me get a waffle with cheese, the flu vaccine, 10-piece. Yeah, you can get it wherever you go. We got it available. Whole population ran out and got a flu vaccine and wonder why you tested positive for coronavirus. Because you told them to put it in the year before that. You heard anybody talk about the flu vaccine this year? It's accomplished. Did you hear them talk about it a year before that? Okay, you got to understand that, right? Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Now, let's go to Matthew 7. Let's go to Matthew 7. All right, let's go to Matthew 7. Let's look at verse 24 through 27. Matthew 7, verse 24 through 27. Let's bring it out.
Therefore, whatsoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock.
Now, hold your place there. Give me John 7 and 38. Before you read John 7 and 38, I want you to read that verse again. Watch this.
Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine
Whoever hear these sayings of mine
and doeth them,
I
will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock.
Right. Now, give me John 7:38.
He that believeth on me, as the scripture has said.
Notice, ladies and gentlemen, that you must believe on Hamashiach as what?
The scripture has said.
As Christianity has said. As the Baptist doctrine has said. As my pastor has said. As the Amazon doctrine has said. As the scripture has said. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not believing on him as the scripture said, you have not heard these sayings of him. And you can't believe on it, therefore you can't build upon it. Hold your place there, give me James 1. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Before you read James 1, D, I need you to read that Matthew 7:24 again. I need y'all to see this. Right? Hold on, let me get there. Yeah, go ahead.
Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them,
right,
I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock.
Now, give me James 1:22-24. 25. Watch this. James 1:22.
Be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own self.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you realize that when you hear the word of the Most High and don't do it, you're deceiving your own self? You understand that? Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. So when you hear something and you don't do it, you deceive your own self. Go ahead.
For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. And he beholdeth himself and goeth his way,
right,
and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you realize that our people really don't have any idea who they really are? Because they look at the word, they go to church, the pastor preaches to them, and they don't even open the Bible no more going forward. So everything they were saying, they forget it. Some people in the Bible don't even ever leave their car. They take it into church, they go in, they read it, they put them mark, they take their little notes on their program, the Bible goes right back closed, and that's it. They completely forgot that they told them that they was a sinner. That they need to change, they need to adapt. But yet, you're constantly being bombarded with things outside of the way of the Most High, and therefore you're forgetting. Verse 25.
But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty.
Look into what?
The perfect law of liberty.
I ain't never heard the average person describe the law as liberty. Go ahead.
And continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deeds.
This man will be blessed in his deeds. Yeah, that's the New Testament. Yeah, that's the New Testament. This is a great question. Great observation. Astute observation. Let's go back to Matthew 7. Now read verse 24 again. Watch this.
Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which buildeth his house upon a rock.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're seeing here is based on those precepts. Remember, Psalms 119, verse 104 says, through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. So Yeshua is saying right here, if therefore you do these things, but if you ain't knowing the precepts, you don't know what he's saying. Let me give you an example. In Matthew the 4th chapter, when Yeshua was in the wilderness, being tempted by the Most High, it's like being tempted, led down there by the Most High, but being tempted by the devil. When he was in his hunger state after 40 days, the devil said, turn this rock into bread. He had the power to do it, right? But Yeshua said, a man must not live on bread alone, but every word that proceeded out of the word of the Most High. Now you're gonna learn in a minute when we get to talk about the Holy Spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, the Most High is talking every day, B. It's great to know this word. Come on, man. right? It's great to know this word. You need to know this word, but you better have that Holy Spirit because he's constantly talking. But most people haven't even met who the word know, Jesus Christ or the Bible. So therefore, you can't know his saying. And if you don't know his saying, we said, what I would liken him what?
I would liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock.
But we know the Sirach 33 and 1 told us what? So Sirach 33 and 2 says, a wise man what? Hateth not the law. You see that? And we know that Yeshua said in Matthew 5 and 17, think not that I come to do what? To destroy the law. Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Not knowing that, you can't build upon this rock. Verse 25, watch this.
And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house.
Right.
And it fell not.
And it fell not.
For it was founded upon a rock.
Because it was founded upon a rock. The law, Yeshua. But, verse 26. They hear these sayings of mine, and do of them not. He shall be like unto what? Now listen to that. This is Yeshua calling you a fool. Not Lavender. And Psalm 421 says, the fool said in his heart, there is no Yah. You see that ignorance? How is a weapon of self-destruction? When we're saying we don't need the Bible, we don't need the Most High for nothing. But Yeshua says, what in verse 25? Right? Right? Mm-hmm.
And it fell, and great was the fall of it.
And great was the fall of it. See that? Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Now, let's get into the meeting. Let's go to Jeremiah 2. Have, fam. Let's go to Jeremiah 2. It's gonna get a little tight. All right. Let's go to Jeremiah 2. And let's start there, verse 4. Watch this.
Hear ye the word of the Lord, O house of Jacob, and all the families of the house of Israel.
Right.
Thus saith the Lord, what iniquity have your fathers found in me, that they are gone far from me, and have walked after vanity, and are become vain.
The Most High is asking his children, and saying to us, what sin have you found in me to make you not want to rock with me? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine Yeshua coming to you and saying, man, why you don't love me? This is what the Most High is asking us right here. What did I ever do to you to make you walk away from me? This is what I'm asking for my people that are watching through social media. What is it in the Most High that make you say, I don't want him a part of my life? I want to do my own thing. I want to approach this in my own manner. I want to solve my own problems. This is the question that the Most High is asking. This is the question that I ask for my Christian pastors. That why is it that your doctrine and tradition means more to you than what the Bible says? Why does that mean more? The acceptance of your associations and the acceptance of your pastor peers. Why does it mean more to you than the acceptance of the Most High? For my regular brothers and sisters, why does it mean more to be accepted by the world than to be accepted by the Most High? Why are you more concerned with likes on social media than the love of the Most High? How can you be like-driven versus love-driven? Verse 6.
Neither said they, where is the Lord that brought us up out of the land of Egypt,
right,
and led us through the wilderness, through a land of deserts and of pits, through a land of drought, and of the shadow of death through a land that no man passed through and where no man dwelt. And I brought you into a plentiful country to eat the fruit thereof and the goodness thereof. But when ye entered, ye defiled my land and made mine heritage an abomination.
So that's why, ladies and gentlemen, the truth of the matter is why we don't want to attach ourselves to the Most High. Because we realize how we've been living it made our name an abomination. And we just completely honest with ourselves. This is the reason why, for the majority of our people, when we read these stories, what they call stories of the Old Testament, which we know are actual facts and events, this is why they can't relate it to their situation. Because they feel they have that sin conscience inside saying, I don't deserve this. I don't qualify for this type of deliverance. If the Most High, part the Red Sea, you should be able to believe, like, yo, you should be able to part any situation in my life. So you don't ever ask for that. Instead, our people are going to the government and they're going to organizations and they're going to themselves to get this deliverance instead of going to the Most High. It's because of the way they see themselves. This is the real reason why, ladies and gentlemen, why a large percentage of our people were always rejected in Israel, because they understand what that means. Our people ain't dumb. They know they ain't black. They know this. But being black is easy. Because as long as you stay in black and African American, you got a boogeyman that you can blame for everything. Once you accept that you're Israel, you understand now where I'm at is my responsibility. I got to step up and get it done. Our people ain't dumb. Don't buy into that, man. They know better. These Christian pastors know better. Our Christian brothers and sisters know better. They know that the party's over once they accept that they're Israel. Because they're seeing you. That's how they know. They're seeing you and how you change, you remove things from your life, and they're like, I'm not willing to do that. I don't want to do that. Maybe later. But let's see how that decision going working for us. Verse 8.
The priest said not, where is the Lord?
You see that? Why is it, ladies and gentlemen, that our pastors have accepted the fact that they don't see no miracles or no breakthroughs in their churches anymore? How could you accept that? Tell them, when we used to travel on Liberation, it's not boasting on ourselves. We saw the move of the Spirit every event. We saw people get healed and delivered every time. It was not maybe it's going to happen this time, maybe not. Every time. How is it that people can come Sunday after Sunday and never see anything and accept that? I'm talking about the leaders. Revival season after revival season. Let me give you a news flash, ladies and gentlemen. A revival is not put on a plan. This is a planned church event. Revivals are not planned. They happen. You can't plan a revival from year to year, the same date and the same time. That's not how it works. So if you have your revival every year, the second Sunday in July, that is a planned, scheduled program. That is not a revival. Revival is you go to church, there's a move of the Spirit, and 24 hours later, you find yourself still there. How we would go to a city, D, and we would say we're going to leave, and we couldn't leave. We had to come back and do the service again the next day. That's a revival. Read that again. He says, what?
The priest said not, where is the Lord?
They ain't even asking. The priests are not saying, yo, man, our community, they're saying that the corona is affecting the so-called black community. So they're not saying, hey, let's go have a healing and deliverance service and let's get this corona out. No, let's start up with the government and do COVID testing, bring it in here. What? We're not going to go to the Most High. Let's make a deal with Caesar and stick some needles up our members' noses. Go ahead.
And they that handle the law.
And they that handle the law know the Most High. Really? The guys that they call the pastors, the ministers, the evangelists, they don't even know the Bible. Go ahead.
The pastors also transgressed against
Uh-huh.
and the prophets prophesied by Baal.
You see that? Is this not what we're seeing in our communities, in our churches? The pastors got baby mamas in the church. The prophets up there telling them about what Kim Kardashian and the celebrities are doing. Why weren't no prophets in the church telling us what was coming in 2020? Why was it in January saying this is the year of division? Why you couldn't see it coming then? If 2020 was the year of division, why you couldn't see it coming? Because Israel show was saying it. All December and January 2020, the year of division. Why you didn't see this coming? Why weren't your people caught off guard then? We wasn't. Israel had the 2 weeks set up. We had the water. We had the supplies. We had the canned goods. We already knew what we was going to do. Everybody's a prophet, right? Why you didn't see this? Everybody's so prophetic. When you talk to the Christian brothers and sisters, y'all are talking about that law all the time, but we were operating the spirit. What spirit? When the spirit won't tell you this? These are the conversations that our people don't want to have. Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Watch this. Rest of that, what else? You said what?
And walk after things that do not profit.
And walk after things that do not profit. Watch this. Verse 9.
Wherefore I will yet plead with you, saith the Lord, and with your children's children will I plead.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that plead ain't, please change. That's desolation, death, destruction, oppression, captivity. That's how the Most High plead. He don't sit down with you and say, please listen. No, you're going to listen. He devoted, or you're going to listen, or I'm going to knock this out. That's how the Most High pleads. Verse 10.
But pass over the isles of Chittim and see, and send unto Kedar and consider diligently, and see if there be such a thing.
He said, listen, go amongst the Gentiles, right? And see what they doing. See how they living. They standing strong to their belief. Go ahead.
Have a nation change their God.
Have a nation change their God,
Which are yet no God.
which are no good. How in the world is Israel no longer following the Yah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob no more? Because the Gentiles are steady strong with their gods. No matter what, they ain't moving. But Israel have changed their gods. What else?
But my people have changed their glory for that which doth not profit. Be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be wholly afraid. Be ye very desolate, saith the
He
Lord.
said, man, look at this. I ain't never in my life seen a people change their God. Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Where our people fight for white Jesus now. I'm talking about fight for it to the death. Your own family members. Hey, yo, man, that picture right there, man, that's not Yeshua, man. That's not Jesus. You take it down, you'll break your arm. Watch this. Verse 14. Slaki, verse 13.
For my people have committed two evils.
The Most High said, listen, I need y'all to pay attention to this. He said, my people have committed two evils. Look at this.
They have forsaken me, the fountain of living water.
So listen, the first mistake that we did was we forsake. See that water bottle? We forsake the fountain of the living water. So imagine you having a spring behind your house, right? Just flowing clean water. You never have to pay a water bill or nothing. It's clean. You don't got no filters. Anytime you're thirsty, It's so clean you don't even need no cup, just fresh and cold, chill, right? You did what?
They have forsaken me, the fountain of living water,
Right?
and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water.
He said, you forsaken the flowing fountains of living water and took this cup and said, this is what you're going to survive off of, this bottle. But not only that, it got holes in it. So the water that you got, even though it's filled up, it's slowly leaking out. And you trusting in this more than you do my fountains of living water. You're forsaking my law and my son for civil rights. Y'all see that? Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Because our people chose this and are ignorant of what the Most High has for them, it has become a weapon of self-destruction. Now look at the question he asked. Verse 14.
Is Israel a servant?
Mm-hmm.
Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?
If Israel was supposed to be a people above all people, how did Israel become a servant? How is he constantly being spoiled? It's the question that Most High is asking. Now, for a second time, let's go down to verse 17. Watch this.
Is thou not procured this unto thyself, in that thou hast forsaken the Lord thy Yah, when he led thee by the way?
He said, why is it that you haven't figured out that your way ain't working? That you forsake me? Why this ain't registering yet? Watch this, verse 18.
And now what hast thou to do in the way of Egypt? To drink the waters of Sihor? Or what thou to do in the way of Assyria, to drink the waters of the river?
He's saying, you ain't figured out that you forsaken me and you're going to your oppressor for the water now. You're going to Egypt to drink and to Assyria to drink, the guys that was murdering you and destroying you. This is the so-called black man, so-called African-American man, believing in the Democratic Party. You see that? Who enslaved you? The Democrats. Who was fighting to keep you in slavery? The Democrats. Yet you put your hope and trust in the Democrats. This is what the Most High is asking his people. You forgot that? You go to Egypt to drink now? What? This is what he's asking us. Because evidently our people still keep forgetting how you got to America. You didn't come in on Ellis Island. In the words of Malcolm X, you didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on you. We've convinced ourselves that we have this beautiful immigration story. No! You came in the bottom of slave cargo ships. And today is what they call 2020, about 200 years ago, around 300 years ago, when the so-called Declaration of Independence was wrote, ladies and gentlemen, you were on a plantation. But yet I turned on the news yesterday and I see Jake wrapped around the building in fireworks. And I'm looking, I'm like, what are we doing? Just 2 weeks ago, I can guarantee you, those same guys were screaming at a police car, Black Lives Matter. Now, giving Egypt the money to shoot off fireworks. And this is what they'll tell you. They'll say, man, listen, I don't care nothing about it. I ain't celebrating that. I'm just doing it because this is fun. We enjoy it. And then why you ain't do it on July the 3rd? You gonna buy some fireworks August the 4th? Are you gonna be willing to barbecue on November the 4th? Don't tell me you ain't celebrating when you're doing all of the celebrations on that day. It's the same conversation, the same excuses that we get when we tell people, yo, man, okay, you tell me Christmas and Thanksgiving, just about family. Okay, all right, okay. All right, let's not do it on the Thursday, let's do it on the Friday. No, I can't do that. Ain't you off Thursday and Friday? Yeah, but still. All right, let's not come on December 25th. Let's go on December 23rd. No, I can't do that. Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Watch this. Watch this. Verse 19.
Thine own wickedness shall correct thee.
Read it again.
Thine own wickedness shall correct
Thine
thee.
own wickedness shall correct thee. Go ahead.
And thy backsliding shall reprove thee. Now therefore,
Know
therefore, and see that is an evil thing and bitter,
right?
that thou hast forsaken the Lord thy Yah,
Right?
and that my fear is not in thee, saith the Lord Yah of hosts.
You're going to learn. That's what he's telling you. You're going to learn today. Your backsliding is going to cause you to figure this thing out one way or another. And I pray that it happens before it's too late. Watch this. Verse 20.
For a long time I have broken thy yoke and burst thy bands.
Right.
And thou saidest, I will not transgress, when upon every high hill and under every green tree thou wanderest playing the harlot.
Father, I promise you. I promise you, Father. I promise you. If you bring me out this time, I promise you, I'll never go back again. I promise. Right back at it like you never did. Most I said, listen, I done burst your yoke. I done brought you out of liberty. You told me you would never do it again. He said, on every green hill and every pasture, you out there celebrating those guys again. Watch this. Verse 21.
Yet I have planted thee a noble vine,
right?
Holy and right.
Holy and right seed. Go ahead.
How then art thou turn again the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?
Are y'all seeing this? Read that again, Deacon. Says what?
Yet I have planted thee a noble vine,
right?
Holy and right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?
I'm going to show you how. Go to John 15, verse 1. He said, I planted you a holy vine, a righteous. This is why. John 15, verse 1.
I am the true vine.
Because Yeshua said, I am the true vine.
And my Father is the husband.
He's the one that keeps it. Go ahead.
Every branch in me that bears my fruit, he taketh away.
That's how. When you're not connected to him anymore, you don't serve a purpose. What else?
And every branch that bears fruit, he purgeth it, and it may bring forth more fruit.
Go down to verse 5.
I am the vine, and ye are the branches.
Right.
He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, you can do nothing.
What?
For without me, you can do nothing.
And our people don't know that. Won't receive that. Ignorance. A weapon of self-destruction. He's saying, without me, you can't do nothing. Yet our people want to do everything without him. Y'all seeing this? Watch this. Now, let's go back. I'm going to wrap this up in here. Let's see. I just want a couple more things I need to bring out of here. Let's go through it. Let's just go through it. Verse 22. For
though thou wash thee with nitre, and thee much salt, yet thou iniquity is marked before me, saith the Lord Yah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't get this sin off of you without the blood of Yeshua. You can scrub all you want to. You can get all the money and clothes and fame you want to. You will not be able to get this thing off you without him. You can't clean yourself up. This whole idea of I'm going to get myself right, then I'm going to come to the Lord, is a lie straight from the pits of hell. You understand? Watch this. Verse 23.
How canst thou say, I am not polluted, and have not gone after Balaam?
Right.
See thy way in the valley, know what thou hast done.
Right.
Thou art a swift dromedary traversing her way.
He said, listen, how are you going to tell me you ain't polluted? Once again, I say this in all respect. This is my Christian brothers and sisters right here. When you tell them, like, man, you're not serving the Yah of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they get offended at that. They say, how you saying I'm polluted? How you saying I'm not with them? And he said, what? Read that part. He says, what? No, you not what?
Know what thou hast done.
So he said, see that way.
Canst thou say that I am not polluted? I am not gone after Balaam.
Right?
See thy way in the valley.
See that way in the valley?
Know what thou hast done.
You see that? Stop right there. This is what I'm talking about with ignorance. It's a weapon of self-destruction. Because they don't know what they're doing. It's not of the Most High. So when you tell them like, yo, man, you polluted. Like, yo, you off. You're not serving the Yah of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They can't believe it. They say things like, yo, man, we sanctify those days, or I'm doing it for him. They don't understand. Those holidays, all of them, are for the devil. They're for the fallen gods. So it doesn't make a difference of what you want to do, how you feel in your heart. It doesn't make a difference. If you're not doing what he said, you're not serving him. That says the Most High. Okay? He said, you don't even know you're running to him. You see that? Watch this. Now, verse 25, 24, Salaki.
A wild donkey used the wilderness that snuffed up the wind at her pleasure.
Right.
And her occasion, who can turn her away?
Right.
All they that seek her will not weary themselves in her mouth. In her mouth they shall find her.
Watch this.
Withhold thy foot from being unshod.
Right.
And thy throat from thirst, but thou saidest there is no hope. No, for I have loved strangers, and after them will I go.
Y'all see that? He said, listen. You've been walking out here and you ain't had no cover. Your feet are unshod. You notice over there in Ephesians 6 when he says put on the preparations, and he says put on the feet of peace, right? Y'all remember that? He said preparate thy feet with the gospel of peace. He said you out here been walking unshod. And then he said you out here thirsty. You know, Matthew 5 and 6 says, blessed is the man who hunger and thirst after righteousness, for thou shalt be filled. So he says you out here uncovered, you're thirsty, you don't have it, and I'm trying to tell you what to do. But read that last part, what he says.
There is no hope.
There is no hope.
No, for I have loved strangers.
I have loved the Gentiles, and after them will I go. Y'all see that? I love America. I'm going to go after that. I love the ways of the Gentiles. I love the ways of my slave masters. This is what I'm going to do. There's no hope in this Bible. That's why you hear them saying it all the time. Man, we tried that church thing. We tried that Christian thing. Yeah, but you ain't never tried the Most High. It is not the same. You say from the west side. It must be two sides there. You see that? It says there's no hope in this. I love the Gentiles. I'm going after them. This is a Bible. Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Watch this. Verse 26.
As a thief is ashamed when he is found,
Right.
So is the house of Israel ashamed.
Y'all see that? Caught red-handed. Caught with the paganism. Caught with the adultery. Caught with the debauchery. Caught with the madness. Red-handed. Go ahead.
They, their kings, their princes, and their priests, and their prophets.
All of us. Leaders, laymen, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, notice how the same process happens every time with our people. You see people's young, come in the stars, they rise up the level, get all this money and fame, lead all of our people to follow their ways. And then what happens at the end of their career? Books open, and the same enemy that used them destroys them and takes all the money back. See that? It's the same equation, the same process over and over and over. Watch this. Verse 27.
Saying to a stalk, thou art my father,
Right.
and to a stone thou hast brought me forth.
Mm-hmm.
For they have turned their back unto me, and not their face.
So they turn their back onto me, but not their face, because they're still looking for me when it's time to eat. right? They're still looking for me when it's time to be healed. But you turned my back on me for these false gods. Go ahead.
Rise and save.
Please, Father, come save us. And I ain't want to show you what Proverbs 1 said. You're going to wait to call on me, and I'm going to laugh at your calamity. That's a hard thing to hear, that the Most High is going to laugh at us. But that's what he said. Because I sought you. I begged you. I pleaded. I sent my son. I sent my prophets. And you wouldn't listen. And I'm telling y'all, better day, we got to have some conversations off camera. I'm telling y'all, in the next couple of weeks, in the next month or so, it's going to be devastating. It's going to be devastating. I will say this. Do not think that these people are taking down these statues because they care about you. These guys are stirring the pot. But that's a segment of our population. They hold these statues there. They're not going to blame the government taking it down. They're going to blame you. This is why you're seeing over America. They don't bring it out on Channel 9 on the world news, but you hear on social media, some guys just popping up in the hood. Because they're going to blame you for it, and they know that. What person talked about taking down the monument over there? What's they call that little Mount Rushmore? But then the so-called president go over there and say, this monument will not come down. Who was talking about bringing it down? Because he knows that's going to rattle them. And they're going to blame you. It's the same thing that happened in 70 AD. Nero burned Rome, blamed it on Israel, and then that gave them the green light to kill us. When most people would have been like, man, you can't do that. That ain't right, man. No, don't do that. That's a little bit too much. But when Nero burnt the cities in Rome and said that the Israelites did it, the rational people, the people that would have been somewhat understanding, hey, man, they shouldn't have burnt the cities in Rome. That's what they're doing now. This is why they're screaming Black Lives Matter, to make the other people who hate us upset. They're taking down their statues to make them upset. Because when you go out there and talk about some vote for guys who talk about some defund the police, and when the police is going, who are you gonna call? These guys are crafty snakes, man. They know we don't have no defense. We can't even stand together. But be careful. Who you standing with and who you connecting with, who you liking posts, you standing with on these social medias. And that's all I have to say about that. Verse 28.
But where are thy gods?
Where are thy gods?
That thou hast made thee.
Let them arise.
And if they can save thee in the time of thy trouble, according to the number of the cities that are thy gods, O Judah.
He said, listen, if the American government gonna save you, let them save you. If these political leaders gonna say, why are you calling me? If you have more faith in them, then rely on them. Let's see how that work out for you. That's what the Most High is saying. Watch this. Verse 30, verse 29.
Wherefore will ye plead with me?
Right?
Ye all have transgressed against me, saith the Lord.
He said, listen, man, why are you talking to me? You don't want to listen to me. And then look at this. Verse 30.
In vain have I smitten your children. They receive no correction.
He said, man, I done punished you. I done sent you into captivity. I done allow you to be killed, destroyed. And I'm doing it in vain because you still won't change. You don't have a guy on one breath saying, the white man doing this and the white man doing this. But we need to vote. What? I seen the video the other day, and I wasn't gonna play this one because there's a lot of cussing in it. This Edomite was just cussing this black dude. I'm talking about this, going in on him, right? telling him black lives don't matter. All this don't matter because you ain't doing nothing, this and this, that. Called him the derogatory homosexual word, just going in on him, right? And this dude on there, yes, sir. I appreciate the entertainment. Uh-huh. Yeah. And he's sitting there with a phone recorder. I'd be like, man, you look stupid. You sitting there recording me. I'm talking to this. All you're gonna do is put it on social media? You say you're dumb. You're following social media. I don't even have no social media page. We white people got more sense than that. You guys are dumb. You think this means something because you put me on social media? I don't care about that. You're stupid. And like you just keep on saying like this. I'm talking about the video goes on and on and on. And then when the white dude finally just walk out like, man, you dumb, you stupid. I bet you won't get out of this car. Black dude still talking, yeah, thank you, sir. Talking stupid. White dude just drive off, laughing at him. This dude turned the camera around and said, if right there you don't see that we need to go out and vote, you guys will do it. I said, this guy. It's a fool, man. It's a fool. Yeah. After all this, you think casting a vote ballot is going to change that guy's heart? I just look at, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. That's what you gotta. If you guys don't believe we need to get out and vote, you got another thing coming. You see what I'm saying? Read verse 30 again. He says what?
In vain have I smitten your children.
In vain have I smitten your children and received no correction. Right? Your own sword. I'm taking your children out. I'm taking your land. I'm putting you in captivity and slavery, and it means nothing. It's still the same. No change. Right? Verse 31.
O generation, see ye the word of the Lord.
Right?
Have I been a wilderness unto Israel?
Right?
A land of darkness. Wherefore say my people, we are lords. We will come no more unto thee.
We got this, fam. That's what he told the Most High. We got it. We gods now. Ain't you hearing that in our people? Ain't you hearing that amongst our people now? We are our own gods. All right, then make your heart stop beating. Make your lungs breathing now. If you're your own gods. See what I'm talking about? Ignorance. A weapon of mass destruction, of self-destruction. Now, let's bring this thing to an end. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 1. Matter of fact, let me get John 16 right quick. Wisdom of Solomon 1, Wisdom of Solomon 9. Not long, we're going to wrap it up now. By that time, food will be back. John 16, right quick. Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. John 16. Let's look at verse 12 there.
I have yet many things to say unto you, but you cannot bear them now.
Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I'm sorry. You speak. Just stay there, bro. You're thinking about the calamity, right? We're going to get out, man. We on deck. It's going to be all right. It's up to you to lead us in there, man. Get ready. Get ready. Read that again. Just what?
I have yet many things to say unto you,
right?
But you cannot bear them now.
Ladies and gentlemen, everybody says they want knowledge and understanding. They want the Most High to speak to them. But I don't think people understand what that entails. If you had the Most High in your ear all the time, showing you things, saying things, most of you couldn't handle it. I'm telling you straight like that. Just listen. I thank the Most High for using me and giving me these gifts. Listen, dude, have we even scratched the surface of what we supposed to have told y'all? Y'all have no idea. We are got somebody. Basically, 2018 and 2019 was spent basically preaching the same lesson redundantly. Turn, come back home. We haven't yet begun to go into things that we need to. It's rough. Yeshua has so much he needs to tell us, but we can't bear it yet. Like I said before, our people ain't dumb, man. they have a sense of awakening. The Bible says in Hosea 6:2, it says, in 2 days I shall revive you. And on the third day I shall raise you up. Right now we're in that time of revival, being revived, being awakening. But I tell you, I often say this, that most of our people are sleepwalking. They ain't woke. You know, when you're sleepwalking, you can carry out functions as if you're awake. People eat, some people even drive, have conversations, but they actually sleep. Literally. Most of our people are sleepwalking. They say they woke, but they're sleepwalking. They look like they woke, but they're not. In fact, we're not going to do all the rest of that. I need to show y'all something right quick. Let me hold the place there. We're going to come back. The Spirit said I need to show y'all this. Let's go to Mark 8 right quick. I'll give you that with these other scriptures to read on your own time. You can read Wisdom of Solomon 9 on your own time. I want to show y'all something right quick. That's why I didn't put those verses down, because I kind of felt it. Let me let it. Let's go to Mark 8. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So you're reading different other in Mark and Matthew, where Yeshua talks about woe, and he gives different woes to different cities. And he talks about Bethsaida as one of those cities that he says woe to, because he says, if the miracles that I done in Tyre and Sidon, if I'd have done them out here with you guys, with them, with the ones I did here, if I did them out there with the Gentiles, they would have been repentant, what Yeshua was saying. He said, you've seen these things and you just took it for granted. And this is kind of like relevant to us as a community, I would say as a church. The things that the Most High has done for the so-called Black community, so-called African American over the years, we should have been turned back to. Because every Christian church that we came out of, it won't fake. There were some things going down up in there. We saw some things. But we got satisfied and we took those things for granted. And we didn't honor the Most High and continue to seek him, and we just assumed that he would always be there. But after time, that gets wore out. So right now, a lot of us are at this place where I say we're sleepwalking. So Yeshua comes into this town and he's dealing with people and dealing with unbelief. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Mark 8. And look at verse no, I don't want to go. Let's go to verse 14. Let's show you what I'm talking about here. Dude, man, come on, man. Break it down, man. It's okay, man. You got next.
Now the disciples had forgotten to take bread.
Right.
Neither had they in the ship with them no more than one loaf.
Right.
And he charged them, saying, take heed, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the leaven of Herod.
Now, see, this is why you always got to be open to understanding and not, this is why the Bible says in Proverbs 3, verse 5 says, trust in the Most High with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. Verse 6 says, acknowledge him in all thy ways and he will direct your path. They're talking about physical bread, right? And they notice, he's shy. You know what they talking about. They looking around looking for some bread. And read what he said there in verse 15 again. He says what?
Take heed, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the leaven of Herod.
So he said, listen, you guys worry about the wrong thing here. You worry about how I have no bread to eat. You better worry about that leaven that's inside of you. That leaven of the Pharisees, those wicked guys who think they got it all figured out because they're in control. And the leaven of Herod, this Gentile, who's acting like he's with us, but he's not. That's the leaven you need to be worried about. Right? Watch this, verse 16.
And they reasoned among themselves, saying, it is because we have no bread.
So they thought they was getting rebuked because they didn't have no bread. Right? And this is sometimes what happened to us. That's happened in the church, and it's happened with a lot of our people. A lot of you are so focused on, well, man, I ain't got no money to give. I ain't got this, and I can't help this. Listen, I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out there. We need a whole lot more than your money. Okay. Money is good. It serves its purpose. For all who have been sown and given, all praise. We need you committed to the end. Me and Deke appreciate when people say, yo, man, that word blesses and all this. But what we really would prefer to see is the evidence of the word in your life. that's what I need, right? I need not to keep having the same conversations over and over, right? I want to keep people going around this same mountain over and over. That's what I prefer, right? So Yeshua just rebuked them, and they like, man, should have had that bread, man. Right? Right here. Look what he said, verse 17.
And when Yeshua knew it, he said unto them, why reason ye, because ye have no bread?
Right?
Perceive ye not yet, neither understand. Have ye your hearts yet hardened?
Bruh, I've been with y'all guys all this time. All the miracles I've done. And you think I'm concerned because you don't have no bread? He said, is your heart yet hardened? Why you don't understand yet? Right? Watch this. Verse 19, 18.
Having eyes, see ye not.
You have eyes, but you see not. Right? And do you not remember? Watch what he bring out.
And they said unto him, 12.
Bro, do you remember what I did just a couple of weeks ago? When my man had 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, and I fed 5,000 men, not including the women and the children, and you telling me right now the problem is that you ain't got no bread? And our people are so concerned, man, we ain't got no money, we ain't got no political influence, we ain't got this. You better be worried about Hamashiach. Do you have him? Because if you got him, you got everything. We worried about everything else. You're hustling backwards. You get him, the money comes. I like the way what my man named William McDowell said. He said, if you seek those things, you'll miss God. But if you seek God, you'll find the things. Right? Look what he said. Verse 20.
There was a 7 among 4,000. How many baskets full of fragments took ye up?
Right?
And they said 7.
He said, I ain't just do this once. I did a miracle like that twice. And you still in here talking about you ain't got no bread. Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Because a lot of our people right now are suffering from spiritual amnesia. They like you just forgot. All the sickness you had when you was at the point of death, and now somebody telling you corona out there, you're like, oh my God, I can't do nothing no more. What? All of the people that you know been healed, set free and delivered, but now some guy telling you a cough from another person. Now you're seeing people as your enemy. Oh, I can't make it out there. I'm just gonna stay in this corner over here, wrapped in aluminum foil. Right? Watch this. Verse 21.
And he said unto them, how is it that ye do not understand?
How is it that you don't understand? See, these are the rebukes that people don't want to hear because people are too sensitive. You're too easy to get offended. When you should want somebody telling you the truth, like, yo, wake up, snap out of it. But this is the problem. Watch this. Verse 22.
And he cometh to Bethesda, and they bring a blind man unto him and besought him to touch him.
Right? Now, remember, Slucky, remember the reason why I told you about that city was because they was always seeking a sign. His word wasn't good enough for them. They always want some type of evidence. This is all the evidence you need. If he said it, that's it. Hold your place there. Give me Numbers 23 and 19. Watch this. Lesson's over. He's somewhere completely else now. Numbers 23:19.
Yah is not a man that he should lie,
He's not a man that he shall lie.
neither the son of man that he should repent.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Most High gonna never had to go to you and say, you know what? Go my tails, man. I know I had told you I was gonna give you that money. I'm sorry, man. I just didn't have it. You know, a certain bill came up. Will, my other son over here, he needed stuff. So I had to come through for him. And sorry, man. It's an habit, bro. But hit me next month, man. The first. Come and holler at me the first of the month. Most I don't never say that to you. And MJ, I told you I was gonna hear that cough. I ran out of herbs, bro. I gotta go to Amazon to get some more. But soon my shit will go. I got Prime. It can come in 2 days. So as soon as it come in, you know what I'm saying? I got you, man. Don't worry about it, okay? You're never gonna have to apologize. Go ahead.
Neither the son of man that he should repent.
Right?
As he said, and shall he not do
How
it?
he said it and shall not do it?
Or has he spoken and shall he not make it good?
Y'all see that? So whatever he says, that's it. Now go back to Mark 8. Now taking that under consideration, what I told you about the city and how they didn't want to hold them for their word, they want to continue to keep sign. People misunderstand it because they don't know the history of the city. So it looks as if this is innocent to them bringing this blind man. But see what it is this guy been blind his whole life. They're like, okay, if you can do this, then I'll believe you. But watch how Yeshua handles it. Read that again. He says what?
And he cometh to Bethesda, and they bring a blind man unto him, and besought him to touch him.
Right.
And he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town.
Mm-hmm.
And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught.
Now, for some of you right now, whatever the most difficult need that you need in your life, if Yeshua came in here and spit in your face, you want to fight him. You wouldn't even, that's crossing the line, Yeshua. I know you're the savior of the world and all that, but you're crossing the line. Some of you are going to really need to humble yourselves and turn your swag down. Because there are some things that you're going to have to do that you have already deemed beneath you. I'm talking specifically right now to these Christian pastors. Some of you are going to have to sit down and learn. Sit. I don't care how long you've been in the church. Some of you are going to have to sit down and learn. I had to do it. I had to sit down and learn. We talk. But some of your pride and arrogance is so swollen that you won't allow to just admit, like, I don't know this. That's why I keep saying ignorance is not a bad thing. It's not a malicious word. It means lack of knowledge. I don't know. So there's a lot of people right now just because of pride won't ever allow themselves to be put in a situation where they can actually get this information. Right? So he did what did he do to him? He said what?
When he had spit on his eyes and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught.
Right.
And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking.
Now, for a man to go this blind and can see anything, that's a great accomplishment. Some people will settle for that and say, you know what? Hey, I ain't got it all together, fam, but hey, I appreciate it. I'm a holiday, man. Most High Christ bless. So I see men, but they look like trees, a little off a little bit. Some of you are that man right now. You at this place where you can see a little bit, but it's still kind of foggy. It's still kind of, you know what I'm saying? It ain't real clear. And because you can see a little bit better than the average person, you think that's an accomplishment and you're staying with that. But what was happening? Verse 25.
After that, he put his hands again upon his eyes.
You need to allow Hamashiach to lay his hands on you again. That's never enough. Remember, Sirach 4:28 said what? Strive for the truth unto death. Yeshua is the way, the truth, and the life. You must strive for him unto death. I'm talking about never, ever having enough of him. I'm telling you, you should always be open for him to pour into you. You should always be open to him to lay his hands on you. Because I'm guaranteed you, that's why I told you in John 16, he says, there's some things that I got to tell you, but you can't handle it right now. You're not ready for it. Right? Go ahead.
And after that, he put his hands again upon his eyes,
Right.
and he made him look up. And he was restored, and he saw every man
And
clearly.
then he saw every man clearly. No longer ignorant no more. He can see now. But look at what the significance of what he told him. Verse 26.
And he sent him away to his house, saying, neither go into the town, nor tell it to any in the house, in the town.
So y'all would think that's like, oh, why would he do that? Because they needed to believe him on their own. Some of y'all are telling too much. And what is, as a result is happening is that faith is going to be in you and not in him. Don't talk about what you do more than you talk about what he has done. All glory, all honor, all praise belongs to the Most High, by Hashem Yeshaya, not you. So when you start saying this, man, I did this, and I'm doing this, and I accomplished this, and I know this, and I do this, you're taking away from his glory. Okay? Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Oh yeah, 222. Y'all done? Y'all done?
Yeah.
Y'all know bringing out is equivalent to take your time pastor in Israel, right? I got one more I want to give y'all. One more. Wisdom of Solomon 1. And I want y'all to read Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 9 on your own time. Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 9, I want you guys to read that on your own time, but I want to give you Wisdom of Solomon 1 so you can see this. Because wanting this knowledge and wanting this wisdom don't mean nothing if you're not in a position where you can receive it. Wisdom of Solomon 1. We're going to end off with this. It's a whole lot better people when we got that crowd sitting in front of us saying they want it. Wisdom. We ain't got nobody to tell us no different. We go 3-4 hours. Wisdom of Solomon 1. Let's start at verse 1. Watch this.
Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth.
Right?
Think of the Lord with a good heart,
Right?
and in simplicity of heart seek him.
Y'all see that? You got to love righteousness, ladies and gentlemen. You can't love wickedness. You can't be a partaker of wickedness. So, shalom, man. Shalom. Most High Christ bless. We're gonna have to pause him for us. So I believe I feel it coming. We're gonna Acts 16. Y'all gonna see something in a minute. Mark my word. Y'all gonna see Acts 16 happening because he keeps coming every Tuesday and every Saturday. And I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. You're gonna see that demon get cast out of. Okay? Read that again. Just what?
Love righteousness,
Right.
ye that be judges of the earth.
Right?
Think of the Lord with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek him.
If you don't love righteousness, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't seek him, you're not going to be able to receive it. Verse 2.
For he will be found of them that tempt him not.
Read that again.
For he will be found of them that tempt him not.
He will be found of him who tempt him not. Go ahead.
And show himself unto such as do not distrust him.
Y'all see that? You can't get this wisdom if you don't trust him. Right? Verse 3.
For four thoughts separate from Yah.
Read that again.
For four thoughts
For four thoughts
separate from Yah.
separate you from Yah.
And his power where it is tried reproveth the unwise.
Y'all see that? So if your mind is somewhere else thinking some other things that you ain't got no business is, will separate you from the Most High. So this is why I keep telling people, you better turn that news off. How is our people at this point still listening to the trap music? How? Kill yourself, kill yourself, kill yourself. Smack her, smack her, smack her. Shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. Get high, get high, get high. Oh, I love Jesus. How? How? I'm confused. I'm confused. Verse 4.
For into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter.
Read that again.
For into a malicious soul,
For into a malicious soul,
wisdom shall not enter.
wisdom shall not enter. Y'all see that? It ain't gonna be no Holy Spirit if you're breaking the law. That's why I laugh when people tell me all the time, I'm following the Spirit while biting into a ham sandwich. No way, no how. I'm in the Spirit breaking the Sabbath. I'm in the Spirit fornicating. I'm in the Spirit lying. You can't be both. This is why we say what we say. They took this apocrypha out of that Bible because it's apocryphal. Pull back the covers. You can't allow yourself to be confused by these things when this apocrypha is breaking it out. Read it again. It says what? And if you ask the average Christian, do you have the Holy Spirit? Yes. Yes, I do. Right? Go ahead.
Dwell in the body that is subject unto sin.
Does dwell in the body subject to sin. Now, just in case if someone sees this and they say, well, I don't believe in the apocrypha, watch this. Let me get Romans 8 so you can see what I'm talking about. Let me give them in the book where they can attest to it. Romans 8. Watch this. Romans 8, verse 4.
That the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us,
right?
Who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit.
So the righteousness of the law is fulfilled in us who walking after the Holy Spirit, not in the flesh, right? So how you can't be righteous if you're not following the Holy Spirit? But you can't be Holy Spirit, you can't be righteous if you ain't keeping the law, right? Verse 5.
For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh.
Right.
But they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit.
So they'll tell you, I follow the Holy Spirit, but then they're telling you you're breaking the law. It can't be both. Because they said those of the Spirit mind the things of the Spirit. And Romans 7 says, go back one so you can see it. Verse 14. Romans 7:14 says what?
We know that the law is spirit.
Read it again.
We know that the law is spirit.
Read it again. Now see that? Now, go back to Romans 8. Read verse 5 again.
For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
But they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit.
So if you're after the Spirit, you have to be after the law. Verse 6.
For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yah.
Whoa. The Bible says that if you're living by a carnal mindset, you're an enemy of the Most High. But they in the church saying, I'm a friend of God. I'm a friend of God. Read it again. He says what?
Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yah.
Right.
Who is not subject to the law of Yah, neither he can be.
Verse 8, so therefore verse 8 says what? They that are in the flesh cannot please Yah. Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. I understand it all back at Romans, Wisdom Psalm 1. Let's end it off. Read verse 5, verse 4 again.
For into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter,
right?
nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin.
Hold on, hey, T. Hey, that's her. That's her. Yeah, that's. Man, like slide it. The places in there. Read it again. So it's like, say what?
For into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter,
Right.
nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin.
Mm-hmm.
For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit.
You see what? You say you do what?
The Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit.
If you got deceit, the Holy Spirit runs from you. That's how that I was saying, man. I caught the Holy Spirit. Though you have to, because he's running from you. You're gonna have to. That's the only way you're gonna get him. You have to run him down because he's running from you. Read that again. It says what? He will flee deceit. Uh-huh. And when he what? And will not abide when unrighteousness come in. See that? It can't be both, ladies and gentlemen. Lastly, verse 6.
Wisdom is a loving spirit,
Right?
and will not acquit a blasphemer of his word.
Read that again.
For wisdom is a loving spirit.
For wisdom is a loving spirit. It will not give you no G-pass and say, I'm okay, I'm good. Go ahead. Right? Right? Uh-huh. It cannot be hid.
Neither shall vengeance when it punish pass it not.
You see that? The Bible. Ignorance, a weapon of self-destruction. Now today, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to give all praise. We'd like to give all glory. We'd like to give all honor to Ahaya Bahashem Yeshai and the precious Ruach. Let's get the most out round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. For everything that took place today. For those who don't know, the notes have been ceased. So for that last hour and change, that was all him. All right. So we pray that did anybody have any questions? Is there anything that needed any more clarification? All right. So ladies and gentlemen, I pray and hope that this was inspiring. I pray and hope that this was a wake-up call. Pray and hope that this has empowered you all to seek the Most High in every area of your life. Strive for the truth unto death, ladies and gentlemen. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Most High will fight for you. Okay? Now, as y'all can tell right there, smell back there, guys, we go from the spiritual food to the physical food. And I want all those who are willing and able. Willing and able. Take full advantage. And those who are not, Most High in Christ bless. But we're going to work some things out. And we're going to make sure that everyone going forward will always be taken care of. Because we are a family here, better day. Huh? Y'all don't understand, I'm an old country preacher. I only know certain things. When the Bible is open, after the Bible is closed, you got to have a piece of fried chicken. Maybe I need to get past my traditional ways and move into the ways of y'all. Y'all doing a lot better than me. Huh? So today we'd like to give all praise, all honor to Ahaya Bahashem Yeshai. As we always say, ladies and gentlemen, continue to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding to the work of the Most High. We want you to know that we love each and every one of you. Shout out to my people on YouTube and Facebook. Fam, please share this message with your loved ones and continue to seek the Most High in all areas.
If you wanna live longer, then stay out. You love it when you love it you everything. We live in a world that is backwards. They call good evil and evil good. The hopes of men for understanding are vain and small. I heard a wise man say, if you love me, keep my commandments. But you choose to do what you want to do. Cause the instruction of the always some different
Stay fast, unmovable, always about to the work of the Most High. Form Yasharala. Form Yasharala. Form Yasharala.
who created heaven and earth.
Yeah.
The moon and the